Welcome to the Organic English Podcast, Episode 3. I'm Chadwick. In today's episode, I will be demonstrating a simple way you can use the phrase, I'd be grateful for your... I will also share an Olympic conversation with my longtime Serbian friend and fellow teacher, Suzana. And finally, I will be reading an article from relationship expert Esther Perel about 5 ways to start conversations with confidence. Roll the tape. You're listening to the Organic English Show, a podcast that inspires English language learners to grow in fluency, but most importantly in confidence when speaking in English. I am your host and friend, Chadwick. I've been an English tutor on the italki platform since 2018. On this podcast, I will be breaking down English sentence structures and patterns. I'll also be talking to inspiring English language learners and teachers from around the world, as well as offering some commentary on current global events that have captured my attention. Thank you so much for spending your time here today. Let's begin. English phrases and patterns. I'd be grateful for your is used to acknowledge someone formally and politely for something they have provided or will do for you. The phrase, I'd be grateful for your, is followed by a noun. It's really simple. I'd be grateful for your phrase, help, the noun. I'd be grateful for your help. I'd be grateful for your, there's the phrase, plus the noun, opinion. I'd be grateful for your opinion. I'd be grateful for your, there's our phrase, and our noun is advice. I'd be grateful for your advice. I'd be grateful for your, that's our phrase, and our noun is time. I'd be grateful for your time. I'd be grateful for your, this is our phrase, and our noun is skills. I'd be grateful for your skills. But it's hard to say goodbye to those people who've been heroes for so long.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, so only because of that I have some kind of a small negative feeling. I hope I am wrong about this. I hope we are going to keep dominating in this sport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rather than that, I'm also afraid a little bit for Novak Djokovic because he's now 34 years old like me. So imagine now in 2024 he's going to be 37. So 37 years old is like too much, for sports. So I'm not sure how well is he going to play. So that's another treatment.
Yeah, so you look to the future and you kind of cross your fingers a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So we could only pray for them and cross the fingers, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice. Did you see the young Chinese diver? She was 14 years old.
Yes, of course. She was amazing.
Wow. When I watch diving, when they enter the water, of course you're watching for the splash, right? And you can tell sometimes you're like, oh, that was good. Sometimes you're like, ooh, too big. But hers was just like, it was like, and I was like, good night.
Yeah, it was fascinating, definitely.
Yeah, and her mother, I guess, is really sick at home. So so part of her story was she needs to be successful in diving so that she can like help financially take care of her mother, that type of thing. See, those things to me capture like the spirit of the Olympics. It's like I said, yes, you're rooting for your team, but you really just want to see everybody do well.
Yeah, exactly. But it's impressive that the Chinese people have so many medals and they dominate in so many sports.
It's rising too. Yeah, it's a different ball game. I was happy that Japan did pretty well. I think they took, what did they take, third in the medal count or something like that?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
What was it?
To be honest, I was the most interested for the US game apart from Serbia. Yeah, because I know that you have so good players in many sports. So especially I was fascinating with by the game. What was that? USA Brazil. Yes, that was really interesting game in volleyball, if I'm not wrong. And like Americans gave no chance to Brazilians. That's for sure.
Was that the men or the women's team?
Women.
The women? Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed watching Turkey's women's volleyball team. Turkey's team, they were strong. I watched their first game against China, and they just shut China down, and it was almost embarrassing, I think, for China to watch. I wasn't sure. I don't know what they couldn't get together, but Turkey just like dominated them completely.
Yeah. It's a pity I did not watch it.
A little disappointment with the women's football or soccer team. You know, they've been so dominant in recent years. So there's a joke like the one team that you don't want to lose to is Canada, and they lost to Canada. So it's like, shoot, darn Canadians.
Yeah, it's kind of Murphy's law. Yeah, always like the law of the country. Whatever you don't want to be happen, it's exactly what will happen.
You're worried. Yeah. I've talked to a few people trying to figure out like how much money Japan lost in this Olympics, because like the investment to prepare all of the stadiums and like prepare the country to host something like that, and then COVID happens. Now you have none of that tourist money coming in to like recoup. I'm sure they lost billions of dollars this year, but they still did a fine job.
Oh, that will find a solution. Japan is very disciplined and very determined country. I think so. They will do this in no time. But what I what I definitely could reproach to Japanese people is that they hate foreigners. So they definitely have to change their attitude to the foreigners.
Okay.
Yeah. They might they might not love them, but at least you should be kind, you should respect them and stuff like that, not to show up so openly like your hate towards foreigners.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, that's interesting. Looking ahead towards next year, Beijing is hosting the Winter Olympics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any favorite Winter Olympic sports?
Oh, okay. Well, I would say figure skating. You know, like when they are on the ice and they do like their dance. Yeah, that's what I like the most.
Okay.
Rather than that, okay. I love this combination, like skiing and shooting from the river. Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah, that's That's an interesting sport to watch. I agree, because they ski. You know that makes you tired. Now, I get it.
Exactly.
They're probably more conditioned than like you or I will ever be. But then, so you ski all that distance and then you have to pull up, catch your breath. The muscles are tired. And then you have to like get that shot off with precision. Yeah, that is a
Exactly.
fun one to watch.
What is your favorite winter sport?
Oh, I like the downhill ski racing. I like to watch the races,
Oh.
especially when they're racing each other. I like this, like more of the X Games skiing where they're doing the flips, and those
Mhm.
guys that do the long jumps on the skis, like
Mhm.
they're flying like Superman, and so I like that one. Of course, hockey.
Mhm.
Hockey Hockey is one of those sports that I think, you're always rooting for your home team, at least on that one, because hockey's it's that full contact sport, and yeah, so hockey is good. Figure skating, of course. Um, with figure skating, I don't even really root for a particular country. I'm just so impressed with those people that, uh, like, I can't do it. I can't
Actually,
even
in
stand
my
up.
case, I support Russians
You
because
support the
Russians
Russians.
are really great at that.
Yeah,
So
very graceful, elegant. Yeah. So,
exactly.
but I'd like that they're introducing some more of the X game stuff. The snowboarding is fun. Watching those guys and doing the flips, those are fun. So yeah, I enjoy the Olympics because it's kind of it's a random break for a couple weeks where you can kind of cheer everybody on. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And also because even for sportsmen, it's and sportswomen, it's a great opportunity to make some kind of friendships and also to forget about the political bullshits. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
so they can be on with themselves.
Right.
Yeah. So
Playing
and
the game. Playing the game.
exactly, that's the beauty of this. So
Yeah.
there is no space for the racism and stuff like that. Yeah.
No,
So
no. But that is that is one tricky thing about the Olympics. Though there seems to be like there's times in history where the politics can't help but like wash over. I think of what was it, the 1980 Winter Olympics gold medal hockey round, US versus the USSR. Obviously, the both countries were feeling like this was an extension of the Cold War about to take place on the rink, and so it does creep in. It does creep in, but for the most part, I thought that this was probably one of the most diverse Olympics I've ever seen, as far as like who was winning medals from different countries. Um, I just saw a lot of countries performing well, and to me, that was fun. It was fun.
yeah,
I'll take it.
exactly.
I'll take it.
Exactly. And also the sport that really surprised me is like mountain mountain cycling,
Mountain
like when you
cycling.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like because the cycling like in the downtown is like kind of boring, because you have like maybe a couple of turns like that, and then you will go straight and stuff like that. So there is no adrenaline, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like when I watched this mountain cycling, it was really interesting. Yeah, because they passed many forests and they went even through the stones, and
Mm-hmm.
it was far more like dangerous. If you make any single mistake, you could even break any bone
Mm-hmm.
from your body.
Sure.
And I guess this is exactly what like increases the adrenaline
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and this passion. And also like this what is it called, the height of like how much they jump like from here and poof like that,
Okay.
it's kind of unbelievable, to be honest.
And they
Yeah.
they do it so quickly. They do it so quickly without thinking.
Yeah.
Watching table tennis. Do you
Yes,
play
I
table
watched.
tennis? Oh man.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. But we couldn't make it because actually we lost the chance when we played against Brazil. But that's not fair, because that was really not fair, because to the Brazilian team, there was like one Chinese boy actually who was like.
Mm-hmm.
I guess born and raised in Brazil and stuff like
Okay.
that. But that's not fair, because Chinese people are really amazing in like in that sport. So Brazilians had him, so we had no chance to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's part of the Olympics too, I guess, is that yeah, you represent the country that you were raised in. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I talked to somebody
yeah.
who
So
I talked to somebody who had once played against a professional table tennis player,
mm-hmm.
and he said that they started playing their game, and the guy was, obviously taking it easy, right? So it was like, well, then he told the guy, he was like, no, I want you to play me for real. Like, show me what it really feels like to play against a professional table tennis player. And he said that the guy served it, and his brain didn't have the capacity to even like see the ball go by him. It went by so fast. Like, his brain didn't have the processing power to even respond.
Whoa.
I can't imagine. Where it's like, yeah, insane. I love it. I love watching people who are the best at what they do what they
Uh-huh.
do. I love it, whether it's music, sports, acting, whatever. Like, if you're the best at what you do, I want to watch. I want to see it. And that's what I love
Oh,
about the Olympics. Mhm.
okay. Yeah. Me too. Especially because when we watch the best people, we can always learn something new about
Mhm.
this, and that could also affect
Mhm.
us in a
Yeah.
positive way, of course.
Yeah. Even if it just inspires for a little bit, like, even if it's just enough to go watch this again. Yeah. Yeah, I do like it. Well, cool,
Oh.
girl. Good to see you. Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a long, long time. I guess we should make videos like this a little bit more often.
Okay. It's pretty easy. We should. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. I will talk to you again later. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Have a nice rest of the day.
You too. Thanks for listening to the Organic English Podcast. Join the conversation today by becoming a part of the community on Facebook or Instagram. Just search for Organic English US. You can also support the podcast financially over on Patreon. Again, just search Organic English US. And while you're here, download and subscribe to the podcast for free on iTunes or whatever platform you use for audio goodness. Leave a rating and a review. We'd love to hear from you. Now, let's get back to the show. Today, I will be reading an article from relationship expert Esther Perel. Esther has a website, and I'll post the links, where she talks about the quality of our relationships determines the quality of our lives. On her website, you'll find resources and trainings to help you find aliveness and vitality in your relationships. Today, I will be reading one of Esther's articles, 5 Ways to Start Conversations with Confidence, and I will post links to all the ways you can find Esther's work in the description. Let's get reading. If you're experiencing anxiety at the very idea of talking to a stranger, or an acquaintance or colleague that you haven't seen in a while, this guide is for you. There are many reasons why starting a conversation with someone outside of your inner circle may seem intimidating, unnecessary, or even a bit annoying, depending on your mood. Maybe you're shy, don't know what to say, or are afraid of potential rejection. Maybe you prefer solitude. Maybe you feel more comfortable observing and listening than participating. Maybe you feel that you don't have anything to add. But small talk of all kinds is an unavoidable part of life, and when done well, it can be a sweet, touching, and thrilling experience. It's a bridge between your life and the lives of others. Small talk can be a moment to establish instant commonality and quench curiosity. It can also be the first step to building a deep, meaningful connection to another. It can be a quick conversation with a stranger in line, talking to your cab driver, catching up with a coworker on a Monday morning, or even spotting a lovely person across the room and approaching them for the very first time. Talking to someone who you initially judged on looks alone can also instantly flip your biases and expand your perspective. No matter the situation, learning how to start conversations with confidence improves your overall well-being. Building confidence requires practice. Feeling confident around other people starts with feeling confident in yourself, and it takes practice. YouTube has countless videos of confidence-building affirmations that you can listen to with your eyes closed whenever you'd like. Search for the ones that are spoken in a soothing tone. Focus on your breath as you listen, and repeat each affirmation. Doing this before you head out of the house can have a profound effect on how you feel in the world. Confidence is a mindset. For some, that mindset is ever present. For others, it takes some work to get there. If listening to affirmation isn't your thing, or if you'd like to try another practice, play with the following questions. What are some things you like about yourself? What are you good at? What would you like to be better at? What are some challenges you have overcome for which you are proud of yourself? What's a new challenge that you'd like to take on? These questions are meant to be answered on your own, though feel free to ask a close friend or family member how they would answer these questions about you. Sometimes it helps to get an outside perspective, especially if we're struggling with self-esteem. The people who love us are often much kinder to us than we are to ourselves. Start with what's right in front of you. Every situation has a context. You can draw from that context because it's the thing you're sharing with the other person at that very moment. If you're in a museum, discuss the artwork around you. If you're at the market, ask if they know how to pick the perfect apple. If you're in a club, talk about the music. If you're in a cafe, ask if they have a favorite item on the menu. Don't judge the topic you choose too harshly. We all know that talking about the weather is often considered tedious, but if you and another person are caught together in the rain is the context that brought you together. If you're sitting next to someone on a park bench on a beautiful day, you can be confident that you both enjoy going to the park and sitting in the sunshine. From there, you can ask if this is their favorite way to spend a beautiful day, if they brought a good book with them, or if they can recommend a great restaurant near the park. If they want to engage, they will. If they don't, they won't. If they seem to be engaging only to be polite, pick up on the social cue and leave them be. It's not personal. They may be an introvert or prefer solitude. These situations are great practice because, in most cases, you'll never see this person again. If you're shy, nervous, or out of practice, it's okay to say so. Do not think that you're the only person who doesn't know how to approach people, or that everybody else always knows the right thing to say. Flowing conversation doesn't come naturally for many people, especially now. We live in a time when many of us often resort to looking at our phones rather than talking with the people around us. This dynamic is not great for our socializing muscles, but engaging in small talk is the best way to exercise that muscle. You can even say to someone else, "I can't believe how much time I spent looking at my phone. I guess sometimes it feels easier than talking to other people." Do you ever feel that way? Remember that you are a mystery to others just as they are a mystery to you. When you're feeling introverted, it may seem like the whole world can see you blush, but most people have a degree of shyness, and by acknowledging your own nerves, you may be putting them at ease too. Look for commonalities. The best questions for starting a conversation with confidence are the simplest. Focus on questions that help you find something in common with the other person, whether it's a significant place, activity, or interest. Some of the best small talk can come from finding out that you grew up in the same area as another person, that you know the same diner or ice cream shop, that your school played each other in sports, that you share some sort of similar culture. The opposite is true too. Two immigrants from vastly different countries may bond over the fact that they're both in line at a bodega in the new city they now both call home. You don't have to look too hard for things in common. A simple and polite, "Where are you from?" or "Have you hiked this trail before?" can go a long way. Embrace differences. If questions such as "Where are you from?" or "Have you hiked this trail before?" yield surprising results that you have nothing in common with, embrace it. "Wow, I've never heard of that area." Or, "I've always wondered what it's like to grow up there. Did you enjoy it?" Or, "Oh, your friend dragged you on this hike. What activities do you prefer?" And if you find yourself in an uncomfortable conversation, ask yourself, do I want to excuse myself from this conversation? Or do I want to use this as an opportunity to challenge myself to learn how this person came to think or behave this way? There's no pressure either way. That's the beauty of small talk. Once you have the tools to start conversations with confidence, you'll soon learn how to end conversations with confidence too. So, if you saw something in this article that you can apply to your life, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you for listening to the Organic English Podcast. Please visit organicenglish.us for links to things we talked about in today's episode, including a transcript of everything you heard today. I hope you found it helpful, and we'll talk again soon. Till next time, goodbye.